Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button for me. It would help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment, hit the like button, all those things help out. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music. Just like this, we're going to take a look at the brand new Bruce Springsteen album called Letter to You. Just came out on Friday, October 23rd of 2020. And if you can believe it, it is his 20th studio album. I mean, pretty amazing how many albums he has now recorded. Bruce has now been performing and recording for over 50 years, half a century, if you can believe that. Starting all the way back in 1965 to 1968, he was in his first band called the Castiles. And then from 69 to 1971, he performed in a band that was called Steel Mill. And that band actually featured future E Street Band members Danny Federici and Steve Van Zandt. And then from 1972, he was actually signed to Columbia Records as a solo artist. And in 1973, releasing his debut album, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. And so in 1984, Born in the USA comes out and the song Glory Days is on it. We all know that song. And I remember hearing the lyrics to that or him singing the line in that says, "I hope when I get old, I don't sit around thinking about it, but I probably will." And that line always hit me that, listening to that song and suggesting that eventually things do come to an end, that things do not last forever. And it was just such a striking song or lyric that always stood out to me. And here we are now, 36 years later. Bruce is now 71, and he's doing just that. He's looking back. And so when I heard this album, Letter to You, that was one of the first things that popped into my head was that line from the song that we're finally at that point now where Bruce is looking back, and the theme of this album is being about facing mortality. And so here we are. We're going to take a look at this Letter to You. As I said, it's his 20th studio album, and it's his first with the E Street Band since 2014's High Hopes, which I thought was a fantastic album. And this album here was recorded November 2019 before the pandemic. He just kind of got that in right under the wire there. And so Bruce and the band got together for what was initially supposed to be a 5-day session, but they actually completed early and it only took them 4 days. And so part of the reason for that was the idea was to record it together live and to not overthink the arrangement. So the idea was they did not want to spend a long time on this, really sort of capture the spontaneity in it. And I think that because they recorded this live and the way that they did this, they were able to capture that through the sound and feel. And it's all done live, no overdubs. And so it's like the band being live with all the same energy, just without an audience there. And for me, it all translates beautifully. I think, there's so much emotion and passion and power on this. And all the songs on here were actually written new for this album, with the exception of 3. There's 3 of these on here that actually come from before Bruce was signed back in 1973. So all the way back before Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Janie Needs a Shooter, If I Was a Priest, and Song for Orphans. And that's something else Bruce has been doing a lot of. The High Hopes album went back and grabbed a lot of old stuff like that too. So it's kind of cool to get something from way back before he was signed all the way with something present today on it. And I think all of these songs, including these 3 older ones, come across very fresh today as though they were just written, even though they are from back prior to 1973. And interestingly, he came across these 3 songs while he was working compiling a Tracks Volume 2, which is this box set you can see behind me here. And it was the one from 1998 that compiled up a bunch of unreleased tracks and released them. He's actually putting another version together, so hopefully we can look for that down the road. But of these new songs, track number 5, Last Man Standing, tells the story about how Bruce is the last living member of his first band, the Castiles, which I just think is a really introspective, heartfelt moment to hear him sing something about that. And track 10, Ghost, which is one of the singles off the album itself, was inspired by the passing of George Thies, who was the frontman of the Castiles. So again, you can see where this is going, that all of this stuff is dealing with mortality. And track 12, I'll See You in My Dreams, Bruce sings a line in the song that says, "We will meet and laugh again, for death is not the end." And so all of these songs with their impending mortality, sadness, emptiness in it, though they're often offset by the energy of the performance of the band. The subject matter should have created something like a Nebraska or a Ghost of Tom Joad, but in fact what you get is something akin to the mixing of Darkness on the Edge of Town mixed with The Rising, in my opinion. And the album is just big and expansive. I think it's filled with, very uplifting music, carried out in a live fashion that, moves each of these ideas forward. So none of this stuff just stagnates or sits there. It all really generates and moves things forward. And for me, it's just a stunning album and culmination of his 50-year career. So let's take a look at this. This is the front cover of it. I think it's interesting that it's shot snowy. He's in the coat, the jacket, kind of very introspective in the way that the scenery is done. That's the back side of it. And then here's the inside. And you get the booklet in one side and then the CD through the other side of that. And let's take a look at this booklet. I actually like this cover of the booklet better than what's on the album, but you do get both of them. I just think that one's a nice one there. And then you got some really great shots on the inside of this. Of course, comes with the lyrics, and I like that some of the stuff is handwritten and other stuff is typed, and sometimes you rotate it, so there's some movement and looking at this thing and so forth. But you get a lot of really great shots and things here of the band, more lyrics, of course, and whatnot. You got a weird upside down shot for some reason that's there, but again, just very interesting the way this booklet was done. All in all with this, bottom line, at 71 and more than 50 years into his career, and despite the album looking back, it's one of the brightest spots, I believe, in his long career, and just truly an amazing album that, while putting his life into perspective for it, I just think it also gives hope and promise to what's to come. And I would say, do yourself a favor. Check out this album by one of rock's greatest musicians. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all with it. Whether you're a Bruce Springsteen fan or just a straight rock fan, it is a fantastic album. Comes highly recommended. It's definitely going to be in one of my top albums for 2020. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And I hope everyone has a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.